This video will go over the 7.1 section review. So we're going to start with number 3 that is asking us to find the area and the perimeter of the trapezoid. So here we have a trapezoid. And then the formula for the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height times the sum of the two bases, base 1 plus base 2. Or you could also use the height times base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. Okay, so first let's figure out our dimensions. So a trapezoid has two bases that are two different lengths. So one length would be 7 units, and then the other length would be 11 units or centimeters. Then the height is perpendicular to both bases, so the height that's perpendicular to both bases has a length of 4. So 7 would be base 1 and 11 would be base 2. So if we plug those values into our formula, we have 1/2 times 4 times the sum of 7 plus 11. So half of 4 is 2, 7 plus 11 would be 18, and then 2 times 18 would be 36. So the area would be 36 centimeters squared. Now for the perimeter, you want to take the sum of all the sides. So the side lengths would be 5, 7, 4.1, and 11. So you don't include 4 in the height in the perimeter because it is the height and it's not one of the side lengths. So we take 5 plus 7 plus 4.1 plus 11. Go ahead and calculate that. And you get a perimeter of 27.1 centimeters. Okay, for number 4, you also want to calculate the perimeter and the area. So for this shape, this would be a parallelogram. So to find the area of a parallelogram is base times the height. And remember that the base and the height are perpendicular to each other. In this case, the height is drawn on the outside. So the height is 2.5, and then the base would be perpendicular to that height, so the base would be 4. So what you want to do is multiply 4 times 2.5, and you get 10 centimeters. Okay, for the perimeter, again, it's the sum of the side lengths. So for a parallelogram, notice how not all the side lengths are given to us, so you need to identify those. So on the left side, the left edge is 3, so it means the right edge is also 3 centimeters. This base at the bottom is 4 centimeters, so the top base would also be 4 centimeters. So now to get the perimeter, we add up all of these side lengths together. So you add 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4, and you get 14 centimeters for the perimeter. And I need to go back here for area, and the units are actually centimeters squared. So make sure you fix that. It's 10 centimeters squared for the area. Okay, number 5. Yeah, Philip is mowing his backyard. His backyard is oddly shaped and has an 8-foot by 8-foot square pond. So that's highlighted in blue. What is the total area that Philip will be mowing? So the total area would be this green area that I'm highlighting right now in red. We want to figure out that area. Okay, so first that means we have to figure out the area of that green section. And then once we figure out the area of the green section, we have to subtract the area of the blue pond. So you want to make a note of that we need the area of the green section minus the area of the blue section, which is the pond. So first we need to figure out what is the area of that green section, okay, before we do anything else. So to get the area of the whole thing, so basically what this was originally, we have to look at, there was originally a rectangle that had this corner cut out. Okay, so we want to take the area of the original rectangle minus the area of the corner. Okay, so the area of a rectangle is base times height. So let's figure out what the area of the original rectangle would be. So the original rectangle was 20 by 25. This arrow indicates that the whole length is 25. So 20 times 25, which would be 500. Then minus the area of the corner. So here's the corner, and the dimensions of that corner are 10 by 10. So the area of the corner would be base times height, so we want to subtract 10 times 10. And 10 times 10 is 100, so we want to subtract 500 minus 100, and we're going to get 400 feet squared. So what we just found was what this green area was originally before the pond was created. Okay, so now to get the area of the mowing area, what Philip will be mowing, now we have to subtract the area of this blue pond. Okay, so let's figure out what the area of the pond would be. So the area of the pond, it's also a rectangle, so it'd be base times height. So multiply 8 times 8, and you get 64 feet squared. So to get the area of the mowing part, you take 400 minus 64. Squared, so you would select answer choice C. Okay, number 6, find the perimeter and the area of the shape below. So for the perimeter, we want to add up all the side lengths. So for number 6, you want to find the area of this shape. So note that you have a composite shape. So this top shape here is a triangle. Okay, and then the shape at the bottom is a rectangle. So you want to take the area of the triangle and add it to the area of a rectangle. So the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So let's figure out what the base and the height would be. So the height is perpendicular to your base, so the height is going to be 13 feet. So 1/2 times 13 times, actually 1/2 times the base times the height, which is 13. So now let's identify the base. The base is this length here that's dotted. So if the bottom shape is a rectangle, that means that if the bottom base is 17, that means this top base is also 17. So that means that the base would be 17. So 1/2 17 times 13. So go ahead and calculate that. So you get 110.5 feet squared. And now to get the area of a rectangle, the rectangle area is base times height. So the base for the rectangle would be 17. And then the height would be 10 feet. So 7 multiply 17 times 10 and you get 170. And you want to add those measurements together, 110.5 and 170. And you get 280.5 feet squared. Now for the perimeter, you want to add up all the side lengths. So let's go back and revisit our shape. So for the rectangular part, if we know this right side is 10, that means the left side is equal to it, so it'd also be 10 feet. And that was the only dimension that was missing. So now we take 13.9 plus 15 plus 10 plus 17 plus 10. So make sure you show your sum, and then when you add those up, those values up, you get 65.9 feet. So this concludes the problems that you're required to do for this review. Of course, you can always do more and check your answers using the key on my website. You can rewatch this video and review some more if necessary.